What's up, guys? We're getting ready to start a hardcore run of Final Fantasy I for the NES. For those of you who don't know, in a hardcore run you're never allowed to revive your fallen warriors, so if anybody dies, they're gone for good. My warriors for this challenge were chosen by the kind people on GameFAQ's Final Fantasy I message board. Our first warrior was chosen by Tori247. He chose a red mage and named him Hat after the red mage's awesome hat. Our next warrior was chosen by F-Raid. He chose a thief and named him Hope because of good luck. Our next warrior was chosen by King Rams. He chose a white mage and named it Doom. And the final warrior was chosen by BG Man. He chose a black mage and named it Onyx. And there we have my final team. Red mage Hat, thief Hope, white mage Doom, and black mage Onyx. First thing I'm going to do is buy a little bit of equipment. We need to get some weapons. I'll just be buying them their usual stuff, 2 rapiers, 1 for Hat and 1 for Hope, the red mage and thief. I'm going to buy an iron hammer for Doom the white mage, and then a small knife for Onyx the black mage. And of course I'm going to buy their armor, 2 cloths, wooden armor, and chain armor. Since I don't have a whole lot of money right now, I'm going to buy a cure for Doom the white mage. That way we can last a few more rounds out in the wild while I'm leveling up. Save a little bit of money on inn visits and stuff, so that'll be nice. I think I'll go ahead and buy the fire spell for Onyx as well. That'll be nice for him to have because his little knife isn't always the most reliable one around. That, and if we run into any stronger enemies like mad ponies and stuff like that, it'll be nice to be able to do some good damage with his magic. So yeah, I'll buy some more spells here in a little bit, and we got a gardener way up here. That's alright, we'll just go out the southern exit. I'm just going to fast forward past me leveling up and whatnot. I want to earn some more money so that I can buy more spells and gain some levels for Garland. So yeah, I'll see you guys here in just a minute after I'm done leveling. Alright, I am now done leveling up. We are now level 3. Here's Red Mage Hat stats. Hey, that kind of rhymes. Hat stat. Here's Thief Hope stats. And White Mage Doom stats. And finally, Black Mage Onyx's stats. I went and raided the Temple of Fiends and got the cap. Gave that to Thief Hope to help his defense out a little bit. Weapons are all still the same. Filled out all my mage's magics. Got Cure Fire and Lightning for Hat. Cure Harm and Roost for the White Mage of Doom. And Fire, Lightning, and Sleep for Onyx. And nothing much for items except for what I raided from the Temple of Fiends. Whatever the case though, we are now level 3 and it's time to take out Garland. I don't think that he'll give us any problems or anything. He's usually really easy. Most of the fighting that I'm going to be doing, I'll be doing while I'm leveling up and whatnot, but you'll still be seeing some fighting here on the overworld. Like right here, for instance, it's just one spider. We may as well go ahead and kill it. But most of the fighting that I'll be doing while I'm leveling up off camera. Some enemy groups I will be running away from while we're traveling around the overworld. Stuff like big groups of wolves. Just pretty much anything that I don't think is worth my time, I won't fight. Alright, we are now at the Temple of Fiends. And up here, alright, nice. Made it to Garland without any random encounters. Pretty much I'm just going to have the Red Mage, Thief, and White Mage attack. I'm going to have my Black Mage go back and forth between Fire and Lightning. And if anybody needs to be healed, I'll let Doom do the healing, the White Mage. And if she runs out of magic or if she needs help healing, then I'll just have Red Mage Hat help out. But that shouldn't be the case. Garland should go down really easily. Just keep on going with our usual strategy. We'll use Lightning this time. Kinda like the way how Garland looks. Oh, a whole 7 damage. That hurts so good. Calm yourself down there, Garland. Woo! At first I couldn't quite decide whether I wanted to get Roost or Fog for my White Mage. The way how I looked at it is, if my Red Mage and Thief should ever die off completely, then my White Mage is going to have to take over as being my leader. And if she ever has to be the leader, then Roost would be a good spell for her to have. That, and I'll get Fog 2 later on, which covers the entire team. So yeah, I just went ahead and went with Roost. It's nice to see that Garland went down without any trouble, but that was also to be expected. That wasn't really to be expected, though. I thought that it was too good to be true that we entered the temple and got to Garland without a single random encounter. Oh well, these imps will go down without any problems or whatever. Kill off this Grimp here. I know it stands for Grey Imp, but I like calling them Grimps. Once we've gotten back to Corneria and gotten the loot and the bridge, I'm just going to go ahead and heal up at the end and go straight to Provoca. You can go up north to Matoya's cave and get a couple of potions if you want. Kiki, get out of the way. You can go to her cave and get a couple of potions if you want, but I'm not going to worry about it right now. It's not too important. I'll just go there later on and get those. I think the first big problematic point that we'll have in this run with losing any party members is going to come whenever we meet up with Astos the Dark Elf later on, because he usually starts off that battle using Rub, and if it works on one of my warriors, well, they're gone for good. If there's any warrior that I wouldn't be too worried about if I lost out of my team, it'd be the Thief right now. I would like to keep my Red Mage, White Mage, and Black Mage as long as I can, and by all means I don't want my Thief to die either, but if one of my warriors has to die, then I'd want it to be the Thief. Whatever the case though, let's just go ahead and start heading towards Provoca. I really like the music that plays whenever you're on the bridge. It's one of my favorite songs in all the Final Fantasy games that it plays in. I'm not too worried about the story or whatever here. I like how you can see the castle in the background, the 4 warriors and some birds right above them to the right as well. Overall, I really do like the bridge scene, mostly for the music though. Provoca is out east, just follow this area throughout here. You'll see some pretty strong enemies like the iguanas that you see right here. I'm just going to try to run from them for the most part. You can also encounter ogres and creeps. I'm going to be avoiding them as well because I don't feel like I'm powerful enough to be fighting them just yet. Pretty much I'll probably just be avoiding all random encounters all the way until we get to Provoca. Then once we get there I'll heal up, buy some gloves, and then take out the pirates. We'll get a good amount of money for taking out the pirates. It's a good thing I have a White Mage and a Red Mage. Gives us plenty of curing magic. I haven't bought any heal potions yet. The only ones that I have so far is the ones that we found in the Temple of Fiends, the one that we found there. You can also buy level 2 magics in Provoca, but I'm not going to be doing that. Matter of fact, that's what I usually do. I always just save my money from the level 2 magic to spend on level 3 magic, because the spells in the level 3 set are the attack all spells that you can get from the black, white, and red mages. Fire 2, lightning 2, harm 2, stuff like that. So in my opinion, it's better just to hold out on level 2 magic and save your money for level 3. I do always come back and buy level 2 magic later on, though. There we go, finally got away from this pack of wolves, and here we are in Provoca. No more random encounters, nice. Alright, first thing we're going to do is heal up. Right now there are only 2 people in town, that guy down there that just screams help. Then you got the Mohawk dude who will actually tell you what's going on. Alright, time to get full health again. We got a decent amount of money, we can buy 3 pairs of gloves. My Red Mage has good enough defense right now. I'll give gloves to the Thief, White Mage, and Black Mage. The armor shop is just down here and to the right. I kind of like Provoca as a town. Whenever I look at Provoca, it kind of reminds me of it being like the Big Apple of Final Fantasy 1, because you see all these homes and stuff all over the place. And I don't think that you see quite that many houses in the rest of Final Fantasy 1 towns. In Corneria, it seems more like the peaceful, kind of small city. You don't really see a whole lot of houses around Corneria, just mostly shops and stuff like that. Still seems like a peaceful city. Alright, time to take out the pirates. Pretty much what I'm going to do here is have the Red Mage, Thief, and White Mage attack, have the White Mage heal when needed, and I'm just going to have my Black Mage use Sleep, keep their numbers down from hitting us, and that pirate got a good hit on my Red Mage. The pirates won't be any more difficult than Garland was, so in other words, they'll be really easy. Once we get done taking out these pirates, I'm going to start leveling up for a little while. It's probably going to take me a really long time to level up because not only am I going to be leveling up, I'm also going to be buying all new weapons, armor, and magic. You can buy level 3 and 4 magics in the next town that I'm going to, and the level 4 magic can be really expensive, 4,000 gold per spell. So I'm going to be gaining quite a few levels in the process. Mostly though I'm going to be focusing on buying new equipment and stuff, but I'll probably be higher leveled than what I'm aiming for. I'm aiming for at least level 10, but I'm probably going to be higher than that by the time I finish buying everything. Having 3 mages can be expensive because of all the spells that you got to buy for them. Still though, I always enjoy playing as the mage classes over the physical classes. To me it's just funner to have all sorts of spells to cast on your enemies, and managing your magic points is also kind of fun as well. Gotta use more strategy for it in my opinion. Just got one more pirate left, and he's going to go down to the lightning spell. Nice. The The pirate battle always gives you a pretty good amount of money, which makes sense for defeating all the pirates and whatnot. Alright, also for defeating the pirates, you get the ship that you can use to travel around, pretty much just a small sea right now, but later on you'll get to journey throughout the oceans and whatnot throughout the world. Still though, I enjoy fighting the sea creatures and everything. Alright, I'm going to head back to Corneria and heal up, and then I'm going to fast forward past me doing all my leveling up and whatnot. Got us a battle real quick. Oh, these guys are really good for money, but I'm not going to fight them just yet. I'm going to wait until I've leveled up just a little bit more. Corneria is just right over here. There it is. Alright, I'm going to go rest at the end to get all my health back, and then I'm going to go do some level grinding. So I'll see you all in just a minute. Alright, I am now done level grinding and buying all my new equipment and magics and whatnot. The team is now level 13. Yeah, I figured we'd be a little higher level than what I planned. Here's Red Mage's hat stats. Here's Thief Hope's stats now. White Mage Doom stats. And finally, Black Mage Onyx's stats. As far as armor is concerned, mostly everybody has copper bracelet, cap, and gloves. Everybody except for Hat, who has the chain armor. Got a silver sword, a scimitar, and a large knife for all the other warriors. Got up to level 4 magics for all the different characters and everything that I could get magic for. And here's Black Mage Onyx's magics. Alright, I also bought up to 99 heal potions and 25 pures. Figured that'd be good to get us going and everything. Our next stop is the Marsh Cave to get the crown to give to the King of the Elves. King of the Dark Elves or whatever. What always got me is you're taking the crown to Astos, who's supposedly the King of the Dark Elves, yet he's the weakest of all the Dark Elves. Just kind of weird whenever you think about it. I've already been through and looted all the treasures in the Marsh Cave. I just wanted something efficient to do while I'm doing my level grinding. Something to do other than walk back and forth. So I took the time to go ahead and loot all the treasures from the Marsh Cave, so it will just be a straight in, straight back out sort of thing. I don't think that the wizards in the Marsh Cave will be that troublesome. We got 2 warriors with lightning too, so I think that we'll be okay. Not to mention we also had 2 warriors with healing magic. So yeah, I think we'll be okay. The enemy parties on the way there shouldn't pose a threat at all either, both in the overworld and in the Marsh Cave itself. The Marsh Cave is over here to the left. We have to travel north, then west, and then back down south to beat the Marsh Cave. Looks like a hole in the ground whenever you finally arrive at it. Take out these snakes really quick. I chose to get the scimitar for my thief over the saber because I like the way how the scimitar looks a little more. And I don't think that they're that different from each other. I know the scimitar is more accurate than the saber, but the saber is more powerful than the scimitar. Either way, I usually just get a scimitar and stay with it because it's cheaper and it looks cooler in my opinion. Alright, we gotta go down south from here, as soon as we get through with these snakes. The silver sword is really powerful, so I usually just have my red mage target one person and then have everybody else target another, assuming that there are only 2 enemies. I'm going to try to save all my spell charges from fighting big groups of enemies. I'm just going to run from big groups of enemies, save my spell charges for the Marsh Cave. While I'm traveling throughout the Marsh Cave, I'm probably just going to use Ice Tunes, that way I can save my level 3 charges for Lightning 2 against the wizards. I don't see any point to fighting these gray imps and that werewolf. We won't get that much experience and gold from them. We're just about to the Marsh Cave. There it is right there. I'm going to use a tent before we go in, get a little bit of our HP back. There we go. And into the Marsh Cave we are now headed. I like the way you actually go up and down ladders instead of just stairs here in the Marsh Cave. Little thing, but I think that it's pretty cool. Just run from these scums, they aren't worth my time. Keep on heading down. I like the music that plays in the Marsh Cave. It's not my favorite song in all of Final Fantasy 1, but it is a pretty good song. One of my favorite songs is a song that you hear in places like the Dwarf Cave and the Ice Cave, places like that. That's one of my favorites, and I like the castle music. I like a lot of the music in Final Fantasy 1, a lot of good songs. Take out these gargoyles. Unless it's like a really huge group of enemies that I'd have to waste a lot of time on and get a little bit out of it, then I'm not going to fight them. If it's just 1 or 2 enemies like what you see right here, then I may as well go ahead and kill them. More experience and gold is always a good thing. Alright, there are a lot of linked chests throughout Final Fantasy 1. Like, there will be 2 chests in a certain dungeon. Both of them will contain, like, say for instance, a short sword. If you open up the chest on one floor and get the short sword out of it, then the chest that also contained the short sword on the different floor won't have it anymore. So the 2 treasure chests are linked. I think that that's kind of interesting. Once my white mage gets off harm, it should take out the rest of these enemies. Marshmallowy ghouls. Probably gonna have to roast that last marshmallowy ghoul. There we go. I like roasting marshmallows, but not whenever they're undead. Thief won't be too bad of a party member once we've made it through class change if he survives that long. If he dies before that, then, well, he wasn't too good for us, obviously. But if he makes it through class change, the ninja will be a good addition to the team, I think. We're just about to the wizard and the crown. Just run from these scums, they're no good for us. One thing about having a thief, if the thief can't run from something, then you know that it's impossible to run from it. It's too bad that he can't steal anything here in Final Fantasy 1, but hey, it was just the first Final Fantasy game, so it's all good. We may as well go and fight these guys. This is one enemy party to avoid in a solo run, because those crawls are really annoying because they can paralyze you. If you got a full party of 4 though, then they're not too bad. The amount of wizards that you have to fight before you can get the crown always varies. You can fight at most 4 of them and at least 2. So yeah, anywhere from 2 to 4 wizards will appear. If we're lucky we'll only get 2, but hey, even if 4 of them appear we should be all good to go. Seeing as how we have 2 wizards and no lightning too. Get rid of this red bones and then we'll continue to make our way to the crown. Like I said, we're not too much further from it. Red bones have a lot to them. There we go. Wasn't sure if that fire was going to take it out or not. I figured it would though. Alright, let's keep on making our way there. As soon as this bat gets out of the way. Alright, here we go. Let's go ahead and heal up. We'll just use the red mage's cure spell. Get everybody back to full health, and then we'll start the battle against the wizards. Here we go. Alright, we got 3 of them. 2 lightning 2s in attack. We'll go ahead and have the white mage defend herself with Ruse. Alright, this should be good enough to take out the wizards. I don't think that the wizards will last more than 1 turn. We're kind of over-leveled for this part anyway, so the wizards should go down really quickly. There we go, already got 1 of them down and out. As soon as Hat gets off his lightning too, that should take out the last of them. Alright. Shouldn't have any survivors. There we go. Now we can get the crown and get out of the Marsh cave. Shouldn't be too hard. It wasn't too hard getting here. Should be about the same getting out. We'll go ahead and heal up our warriors after that battle. I like to try and use all the cure spells that I can, all the cure 1 spells. At this point in the game, the level 1 spells aren't anything too special anymore, so I don't really worry about saving the spell charges for those. So I like to use the cure spells, that way I can save money on buying heal potions. Even though at this point heal potions aren't too hard to get either. Heal potions just take forever to buy if you want to get 99 of them, because you can only buy 1 of them at a time. If you have a turbo controller though, then it's not all bad. You can look at a book or something while you're buying them. Remember I used to do that whenever I was a kid, because I get bored just sitting there waiting. Same thing with pure potions. I try to use the pure spell before resorting to using potions. Mostly because the level 4 white magic also isn't anything too special. It has a couple of good spells. Pure and anti-ice is really good. Anti-mute can be good for a team of mages, but you rarely ever get muted, so it doesn't really see much use for me anyway. And then fear, I mean, I don't really want my enemies to run from me, because then I won't get the experience for them. If there is one thing in Final Fantasy 1 that does annoy me, it's the fact that every time one of your party members gets poisoned, it rearranges your party layout and whatnot. It gets kind of annoying. It seems pointless for them to do that. Whatever, though. Once we get out of the Marsh cave, we'll just go straight to the Northwest Castle. We don't really need to go to Elfland to heal up or anything, since we have plenty of houses, cabins, and tents. We'll go ahead and take out these bones really quick. Not sure if my white mage will take out that bottom bones. I'm pretty sure that it will, though. Bones are really weak enemies at this point in the game. Heck, they're weak for the beginning of the game as well. Especially if you have a white mage in harm, since you can just take them all out in one go. Alright, bones are now down and out. We can keep on making our way out of this cave. And up we go. Like I said before, I kind of like the ladders that you see here and there. They're pretty cool. If there's one thing that I don't like about certain temples and dungeons and stuff, it's the bats that fly around. They tend to get in the way a lot. Same thing can be said for like people in different towns and whatnot. They all like to get in your way, and it gets really annoying. Alright, we gotta heal some more poison and rearrange our team yet again. Like I said, that's just so annoying. They shouldn't have made it to where you had to rearrange your team every time somebody gets poisoned. That's alright though, it only takes a second to do. And there we go. We're just about out of the Marsh cave. We just have to go up here just a little bit. Avoid all these bats and whatnot. Try to keep them from getting in our way too much. It's a good thing that they can't get on no staircases or anything. I remember whenever I was a kid, whenever I was in the Earth Cave, there's a narrow passage that only one person can fit through in the floor with the vampire in the Earth Cave, and a bat was in that little passage and I couldn't get in. It took forever for that bat to get out of there so that I could get to the vampire. So yeah, like I said, just the little bats that get in your way can be kind of annoying. It's not so bad in towns, just mostly in caves and stuff whenever you come across bats. Still though, it's not that bad. They don't get in my way that often. Before I start the battle against Astos, I'm going to put the thief in the first slot in the party lineup. Like I said earlier, I don't want to lose any party members, but if I have to lose one of them, then I'd have to pick the thief to go. Then I just like using the mage classes a little bit more. Just take out these two ogres really quick. They're really good for experience and gold at this point in the game. Take out this other ogre, then we'll keep heading north to the castle. There we go. I'm not too worried about saving my spell charges in the battles for now. We have a house to use before the battle against Astos. We'll go and use a fire too in this battle, help take out the creeps. One thing that's kind of interesting with the houses is that while they do recover your MP, they don't do it until after it saves. So if you were to use a house and then save the game, and then if you wind up resetting whenever it reloaded your save, you wouldn't have your magic points anymore. Kind of weird that it does that, but hey. Bring along a tent or a cabin and use it after you've used your house, and then you'll have your magic in case you need to reload your save or anything. Alright, here we are at the Northwest Castle. Let's go ahead and use that house. There we go. Now I'll use a tent. Don't even know why I use that tent. I'm not allowed to reload saves or anything. Just kind of out of habit, I suppose. I don't think we needed the HP from it. Whatever though, time to fight Astos. If all goes really well, then we won't lose a single party member, but if we have bad luck, we'll lose one. I'm going to start off the battle by using 2 mutes and a hold, and the only thing that I can really have my thief do is attack. So yeah, I'm just going to try to get him muted or get him paralyzed. Hopefully that'll work. Okay, let's see here. Ineffective. Good, he attacked instead of rubbing this turn. Maybe we can mute him or something. That was ineffective. Come on, let's mute him. Alright, sweet. Alright, well Astos will be a complete pushover now. That is awesome. I didn't lose any party members yet. I highly doubt that I'll lose any now, but that is really, really awesome now. Tried to use rub just a moment ago. Ha 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 ha, you can't do it. You suck, Astos. I can say that now that you've been silenced. We'll just finish off the rest of this battle using attack magic. Usually the level 2 elemental spells do a good job taking out Astos, Fire 2, Lightning 2, and Ice 2. All I can say though is that I am really glad that I didn't lose any warriors. This was the first big problematic point in this kind of a run. I'm just really glad we still have all of our party members. And with that said and done, Astos is now down and out. Let's go ahead and put the red mage back in the first position. Yes, set on the throne, I am now king of this castle. And well, with Astos now down and out, we got Matoya's crystal bag, so we can take that back to her, awaken the Prince of Elfland, and get our mystic key, then go treasure hunting for a little while. After that, we'll be going to the Earth Cave and taking out Lich, the Fiend of Earth. And well, that is it for part 1.